Yesterday, I realized that in a week it will be my birthday, which means March is coming over. And that means that it's already been almost 3 months since the year started, which made me think. In the beginning of the year, I uploaded this video where I talked about my Make 9 to 2026 and also a knitting bingo I created for myself to kind of motivate me try new things in knitting so that I don't bore myself to death with stockinette projects. Am I still doing a lot of stockinette projects? Yes, but I have something to work on at least. And since now I am trying to upload to YouTube weekly and not once in 2 weeks because algorithm really hates me and I do not appreciate that. I asked you guys on Instagram yesterday what kind of video you would prefer to watch this week. And most of you voted for updates on my Make 9 and my knitting bingo. So there it is. And I'm sorry for a little bit of a weird location behind me. My husband is home today and it's the only day during this week when I actually can record a video. So I'm kind of hiding out in the bedroom because I don't want you to listen to him very angrily type on his keyboard the whole time we're talking. Hello, my knitting friends and buddies! My name is Nadya. I'm the face behind the Lemony channel where we discuss all things knitting. I brought my knitting journal with me so that we can check out my Make 9 table and my knitting bingo together and see how I'm doing. So grab a beverage of your choice and let's get into it. Unfortunately, today my beverage of choice apparently is the flower water for our plants because that's the only thing that's here. Oh well. Now let's start with the Make 9. I have the list of the projects I planned here, and for you I made a pretty table before and you could see all the projects I was planning to make. Now I must say we do have some progress in the Make 9 direction. First and most important, we already have one finished object and it's actually the one from the middle of the table, which looks cute. So now we have like updated question marks results for our 2026. So I finished Constellation Sweater by Azeta. I ain't gonna lie, this is probably my favorite knit ever, and I don't think it will change anytime soon. I am very sorry for all other knits, but it is such a gorgeous combination of an awesome pattern that fits my body type perfectly, and the fabric that I created using Isaiah Aran tweed with Isaiah silk mohair, the fabric is just out of the world. I've been wearing it non-stop, literally. I was very worried that it's a very warm sweater because I think it's bulky weight altogether. And Denmark is not that cold, especially if you were born in Russia, so you are kind of used to the cold. But I realized that if I wear this sweater during spring without any jacket, without anything on top of it, it's actually perfect because it doesn't really let wind through it because the fabric is quite thick with all the mohair and actual Irish wool and everything. It's relatively quick drying after a light rain. I know it's usually not a light rain situation here, but lately it's been totally fine. So I don't even put it into my wardrobe. It just lies on my sofa and I grab it every day and put it on and just use it because it's so comfy. It is unbelievably comfy. I was very worried about turtleneck because I didn't know if I like turtlenecks or not. I don't think I've had turtleneck sweaters ever since I was like 5. So I didn't know whether I will be too sensitive to the turtleneck of the sweater. Apparently, I'm totally fine. And I'm not sure if I did something wrong or not, but I feel like my turtleneck came out a bit shorter than Azeta's on her sample pictures. But in my case, it's actually a good thing because it just lands around here and my most sensitive neck area is here and it's not hidden here. So I do not even notice it having a turtleneck and I love it. So it was definitely a total win. I'm absolutely obsessed with this one and it is the first one out of my 2026 Make 9 list. Now, we do have some more progress on it because actually we also on this list have Winnie Top by Lily Kate France. I have already casted it on I would even say I'm like 30% done. I will try to add some B-roll here with how it's looking. I am done with the back yoke. I am done with half the front yoke. I am working on the second half, so it's gonna join in this cute V-neck. Then we're gonna join them together, knit a little bit more, and then it's gonna be round and round and round we go. The yarn I'm using for it is absolutely not what I was planning, because when I was making my Make 9 video, I said I wanted to invest into Cardiff Cashmere in the same brown color that Lily Kate France used in her sample. But then something happened. And this something was a market here in Aalborg where Anna from Fingernamed and I had a table where we were selling fingernamed yarn and some of my knits and our collaboration Parrot Life Beret. The link, by the way, for the kits and for the pattern is in the description. What a market is for someone who is selling something, right? It's just sitting there for a very long time. Let's just say it's not very fun. So you naturally look for some kind of socialization with other vendors. So we started talking to our neighbor who was actually also selling hand-dyed yarn. She has her own brand called Gun Palette and Silky Ball. And because her stand was right next to us, as you can imagine, I've been staring at her stand the whole day and the whole next day. And she had this one particular yarn that I have been staring down, and just like for the whole time we were there, I was just thinking about how nice it would feel to have it touch my skin, because it was a mix of baby alpaca, cashmere, and now I'm scared that I'm gonna lie, it's either silk or it's merino. I think it was silk. I'll correct myself if I'm wrong. Let's just say both the color that looks like literally a sky with clouds flying through it and how incredibly soft it is made me absolutely insane. So on the next day, I came up to her stand and actually bought 2 skeins of this yarn. I know that we were there to sell yarn, but somehow I left with more yarn than personally I had when I came there, which is amazing. Why am I telling you this? While I was contemplating whether I should buy this yarn or not, and it was, well, I mean, it's hand-dyed, it has cashmere in it, and it's baby alpaca, obviously it was quite expensive. So while I was literally burning my brain trying to decide whether I want it or not, I thought, what if I make the weenie top that is already on my Make 9 list? So it's a project that I'm already planning for and I already want to invest into. Why don't I use this yarn for it? But it was a bit too thin to just make it out of this because it's a lace weight yarn, and I don't remember the official weight for Winnie Top, but basically the gauge would be like too lightweight for the pattern. So I thought I need something to hold it with. And then someone recommended me Woolly Yarns, which is a Latvian online shop that sells coned yarns. And I went down that rabbit hole very hard. Now obsessed with coned yarns. Let's just say that I got this merino cashmere blend, that merino cashmere silk blend in this gorgeous blue color. I saw it and I was like, relatively inexpensive because like it's coned yarn, so it's generally less expensive than to buy this kind of blend from commercial shops that sell like balls of yarn, right? I got like 250 grams of it, even though I only needed 150, so I will have some leftovers, and I absolutely love this yarn. This yarn combo creates this gorgeous sky effect. It literally looks like sky. It has all the sky colors all together, and I am also super impressed with how both this yarn open up after blocking, because before blocking, I'm showing you like the sample that I'm knitting right now, right? It hasn't been blocked. It does look a little bit stiff and does look a little bit rough. After blocking though, I made a swatch, guys. It's becoming so soft, I cannot explain how soft it is. It fills up every hole of your knitting. It becomes fluffy. It becomes so freaking nice. So it's gonna be my favorite knit of spring. I can feel that because it feels so luxurious. It's crazy. So it's gonna be the next one on my finished Make 9, but it's already too late for it to be the first 3 months ready. It's gonna be in the next one. So I guess in June. And another two updates to Make 9 are yarn quantities, because I got yarn quantities for two more projects on my Make 9. One of them is Bifoka Vest by Teti Lutzak. I unraveled a thrifted sweater and got this gorgeous black cashmere, 100% cashmere. Wait, no, I'm lying. No, I'm lying. This one is not 100% cashmere. It was like 70% wool, 30% cashmere. I know. It's still gorgeous. It's super soft. It's super lovely. And I'm planning to combine it with a bright hand-colored yellowy orangey yarn I got from Winted from a hand dyer who just started her journey. So she was selling her first batches of hand-dyed yarn for very cheap. The whole bowl was like 50 krona, so like 8 euros for 100 grams. So very cheap for hand-dyed yarn, and it's 100% merino. So I want to combine these two, and the black will be the body, the main color, and orange will be the contrast pattern in the front. So I'm already all set on that. I made gauge swatches, everything works. I just need to knit it up. And the second project I got yarn for, I didn't get it yet, but it is currently in transit from Russia to Denmark. And I got yarn for Expectation of Snow by Olga Rachuk. If you watched my Make 9 video, I told you guys that I really wanted to make something that looks like Russian Orenburg shawls, which are just like those very beautiful lace shawls that are very traditional, and I'm obsessed with how they look like. And I found this particular pattern that is not very popular, but it looks fairly similar to something that is Orenburg shawl like, but not exactly to the extent that it would be like traditional Orenburg shawl. And I thought that I really wanted to make it with Russian yarn, because for me, it's basically a piece of culture that I kind of want to recreate for myself. Because unlike some people think, you can actually be proud of your country's culture and its art forms and traditions without supporting it politically. So my parents have sent me a package from Russia that has some Pichorka Orenburgskaya in it. This is Russian yarn, which is pretty much the same as kid mohair with silk. But as far as I understand, it's pretty much identical to what they were using for actual Orenburg shawls back in the day. Like, at least the marketing behind it is like it's a very traditional yarn. I hope it's gonna be. We're gonna see, but basically it's supposed to be like this very fluffy and super thin and lightweight yarn that I will try to make a shawl out of. It will probably take me ages. I will definitely start it this year. I'm not sure I'm gonna be able to finish it this year. That long I'm planning for it to take me. But we'll see. I'm in no rush, it's not a race. That's it on the Make 9. And let's switch to the bingo. I'm actually doing quite good. I already have 5 squares, besides the lemon one that is like a free square, that I have already completed, and I have a few that I have started progress on. Let's quickly go through them. First of all, I have visited a knitting event because I went to the fair called Kriya Messe here in Aalborg, as I told you, with fingernails, because we were selling our stuff there. And I was there both as a vendor and also as someone who was just like walking around shopping. So I think it can be considered as visiting a knitting event. So I think it's a check. Next one that I actually also did, and I did not expect it to be done in the first 3 months of this year, is trying sticking. I was scared so much. I'm test knitting Ganslöfen's jacket for Ganslöfen, and I chose this project and testing it because I was like, if it's a part of testnet, I will be more motivated to actually do it and not give up on my whip once I reach sticking. And it worked. I already have sticked one sleeve. It was terrifying, but in the end, it actually turned out very good. And people were right. It's not scary in the end because you can see how I used crocheted reinforcement, and you can see how crochet is literally holding everything together. So I mean, you can unravel it, obviously, but you will purposely need to do that. I don't feel like it will be able, especially after it felts a little bit, I don't think it will be able to fall apart easily. I hope so. It was a very meticulous process because you have to like crochet one chain up through all the right leg stitches and then do the same down through the left leg stitches. So it does take time, especially for me because I am unable to use crochet hook properly. I used to crochet before and I absolutely suck at it. I swear, crochet was not made for me. My hands hurt immediately. It's just like, it's not my thing at all. But even I was able to do it, which is a very good sign. So now I will just have to stick the button band and the second sleeve, and I will officially be done with my first ever sticking project, which is super exciting for me because it's a technique I didn't think I was actually gonna be trying this year. So I'm very proud of myself. Another one I already told you about is salvaging yarn from a thrifted sweater because I did that to get yarn for Before Vest. It was a lovely sweater, but I hated how it looked on me. It was too cropped for my body, and I was like, wait, it's such a nice composition. Why don't I unravel it? And it was the first sweater that was actually very easy to unravel because all the seams were super visible. So it was just like, I think I did everything in like 2 evenings, which is crazy. So, and since then I already salvaged 2 more sweaters. So I definitely deserve this square of the bingo. The next square we completed is switch to Chiaogu. Chiaogu. I can never pronounce that correctly. But last month, my husband and I saw that they finally came out with the quads, Chiaogu quads, that are the squared needles. And we decided it was the moment for me to try to completely switch to Chiaogus from my knit bros because if you've been following my channel for a long time, you know that I have a beef with Knit Pro needles. I have literally broke every single cable that was in my set of Knit Pro Nova, and I broke one cable that I bought additionally from Mindful collection. And other than that, they are so thick and I love knitting lace. Let's just say I was very thankful that we got me this set after using some basically Timu needles when I started my knitting journey. So after Timu needles, Knit Bros were an amazing upgrade. I got them for my last birthday and they did what they should have done for the price. I can agree that for the price that they cost, they are awesome. But today I had to make a swatch with Knit Pros because I ran out of cables for my Chiagus. And I'm never going back, guys. I'm never going back. It feels like knitting with logs now. I swear. They're so thick and the cables are so stiff. Oh. Even the swivel cables, Knit Pro does have swivel cables and I still hate them. By the way, for those of you who are from US, Knit Pro is the same brand that you guys have as, I think it's called Knitter's Pride. It's basically the same brand. So Knitter's Pride Nova is the same as Knit Pro Nova. It's just like distributed differently between countries. So yeah, now I have quads. I absolutely love them and I will be buying more cables and also I will be buying some non-quad Chiaogos because they only start at, I think it was 3.5 size is the smallest for quads. So I definitely need 3mm, 3.25 and 2.75, basically all the smaller ones. So I will have to kind of make my collection grow a bit more until I'm very satisfied with everything. But I know it's always controversial topic talking about Chiao goose because of their price. Is it worth it? Is it not? Everybody has their own opinion. For me, they were 200% worth it. Like, I'm never going back. And just to make my point even clearer, if you've been following me for a long time, you know that I am a tight knitter, a very tight knitter, a tight knitter that breaks yarn because she knits so tight. Ever since I switched to Chaugus, I have not been knitting tight at all. I have super even tension and I don't have any problems with my hands hurting anymore because I am not pulling on my yarn as if my life depended on it. So I'm very sad to say, because I usually do not encourage splurging on uh, the luxury goods for your crafts. I feel like you can always find something in your budget, and you can, but unfortunately for me, Chiaogos were definitely a good purchase, and I'm never going back. I'm sorry. I'm mostly sorry for my husband's wallet. So the last bingo card that we have completed is publishing a design. I have published Parrot Love Beret in collaboration with Fingernamed Yarns. We have a kit together, we have a pattern for it. You can buy them separately, you can get the pattern and yarn kit, or not either of them. You can get a kit with the pattern or just the pattern on fingernamed.dk or on Fingernamed Etsy shop. So I'm proud of this one. Now we have a few cards that we have made progress on. First of all is test knit 5 patterns. I have finished test knitting Emma Vest by Mochi Knits. It's gonna be coming in the next podcast. I think it's been so long since my last podcast. I have way too many whips and finished objects, so just some spoilers, I finished this gorgeous vest as a test knit for Mochi Knits. I love it, and it was the first test knit. The second one I'm doing right now, it's Ganslöwen's jacket, just like I said already. It's gonna be the second one, and I still need 3 more. I have applied to test knit a new cardigan by Pearl by Ray, but I'm not sure if I'm gonna get into it or not. But even if I don't, I'm still gonna need it when it comes out because it's gorgeous. But basically, yeah, almost halfway done. Almost. Next, I have Tech Edit 10 patterns. And actually, I am getting much closer to this goal than I thought I would 3 months in the year. Because if you don't know, I am a beginner tech editor, and since I am a beginner, I don't have a lot of clients. Mostly I get clients that my other designer friends recommend me to. So it's a very unstable kind of situation. Like I can have 1 pattern to tech edit a month. I can have 0 patterns to edit a month. I can have 4 patterns to edit per month. It just like randomly depends on how everybody's process works. But I'm doing quite good. I actually finished my 4th tech edit yesterday. So also almost halfway through this one. Next one is make 5 knits using only local yarn, and I already have 3. I used Isea, which is a local brand. Wait, do we consider local brands or local yarns for this one? Because like Isea is local brand. It's more local than it could be. It's like the headquarters is 40 kilometers away from my place. But if I remember correctly, Erin Tweed is made in Ireland. Let's discuss this in the comments. Do you think that my card of making 5 knits using only local yarn should be connected to the brand, so only Danish brands, or actually sourcing yarn from Denmark? Let me know your opinion in the comments, please, and I'll let you tell me if I'm getting closer or not. And the last one that I'm getting progress in is use stash yarn in 10 projects. And I have used stash yarn in 3 projects already. It has been my kitten catch mittens that used Uling 20 that I had in my stash for a year. A vest for the test knit. I made it out of heavy merino that was also in my stash. I had to buy some Isea alpaca one to hold with it to fit the gauge, but I think it's still, I used it up, all of it, so I think it kind of counts, right? I hope so. And I used stash yarn for, actually, it's more than three. I think it's at least four or five. I used stash yarn for socks I made for my husband. Not made, I'm in progress, but I'm making for my husband. I'm using Uth Yarn's Unique sock yarn that I got like 5 months ago without any idea what to do with it. And my husband loved the color, so I'm making him some toe up socks. And I also used stash yarn for the turtleneck I was making for my friend for her birthday. I used some brushed alpaca silk that I had in my stash, which is also stash busting project. I think that's it. That's it for now, but I will be adding more stash yarn into my projects. And I am being a bit like harsh on myself. I'm only counting it as stash yarn. So number one, it was not bought for a specific project. So it's just hanging out in the stash looking for something to be made out of it. And second of all, it has been in my collection for at least 6 months. This is considered stash busting for me. Otherwise, it's just me buying yarn and using it and saying I use it from stash because it was in my cupboard for like 2 weeks. That's not fair. And that's pretty much it. I'm super, super proud of how my progress is going. I did not expect I will have any progress because I had quite a hectic beginning of this year, let's just say that. So I'm very happy that I'm moving somewhere. Unfortunately, I'm not moving towards my subscriber and followers goals as fast as I wanted. So there's a very hard, like, there's a very low chance I will actually reach any of those goals. So I'm not sure we're gonna have bingo because I placed those cards so that it's really hard for me to make bingos, but I'm still very happy and proud. And thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please consider pressing the like button and subscribing in case you haven't yet. And you might also consider subscribing to me on Instagram where I post more live knitting content, or on TikTok where I post goofy and fun knitting content. Also on Instagram, I always ask questions about my YouTube videos so that I can get your guys' input, so that I know what you guys want to watch. I am not making these videos solely for myself, while obviously it is all the fun of doing YouTube. But I also want to make videos that are actually fun for you guys. So Instagram is the best way to show me what your preferences are and connect with you as the audience. So thank you again and see you in the next one.